Model and TV personality Coco Austin is up to it again. Yes, more of the same. She's making controversial child-rearing decisions when it comes to the daughter she has with Ice-T, Chanel Nicole Marrow. We're all aware of the news of her decision to continue breastfeeding her daughter. But on top of that, we've heard many more controversial child rearing decisions that raise flags for many mothers out there. And we're going to touch on at least four of those that I think really stands out, and we'll weigh in on both sides of the spectrum where necessary. Because we know that there are some who believe the things she does are okay, but there are others who believe they're absolute no-nos. Also, somewhere near the end of the video, I'll give you my thoughts as to why I think she continues to publicize all of her controversial child rearing decisions. Now, to start with, we'll begin with what we've just mentioned, the thing that started it all, her decision to publicize the fact that she breastfeeds her daughter beyond her second birthday. Yes, we heard it first when Chanel was 4 years of age. Coco took to social media, posting to her IG account a video of her breastfeeding Chanel aboard a private plane. After receiving much criticism for her decision, she stated that she has no plans to stop breastfeeding her daughter. She says as long as Chanel wants to be nursed, she will allow it. Some have shown their support for the continued breastfeeding because of a benefit, and that benefit being the bond that's shared between mother and daughter. And after hearing of another benefit, others were swayed to give their approval stamp. And that benefit is that breastfeeding can reduce a woman's risk of developing cancer, most specifically developing breast cancer. But as for the naysayers, neither of those benefits were enough to accept such a decision. Some of them believe that the moment a child has a mouthful of teeth, which is usually between the ages of 2 and 3, that the child should no longer breastfeed, or for that matter, suck a bottle or a pacifier. Now, there are some mothers who think it's very harsh to remove a baby from the bottle and pacifier, but there has been occasions where 2 and 3-year-old toddlers have completely obliterated the nipple of a bottle and pacifier because of their teeth. Therefore, naysayers see that as a clear sign that both the bottle and pacifier should be taken from the child, and they feel that it's at that exact moment that the child should be removed from the mother's breast. Either way, peeps, let us know what your thoughts are in the comment area below. Another child-rearing controversy from Coco is the pushing of her 6-year-old in a stroller. Some didn't find anything wrong with it. They even suggested that it may have something to do with Ice-T and Coco taking a little bit too long in their shopping spree. Some thought that maybe the stroller was purchased that same day as a means to pacify Chanel, who may have been complaining about being tired from all the walking. But many mothers believe that it's a matter of parents giving in to the whims of their kids instead of using circumstances as teachable moments for them. Now, if by chance the stroller was an impulsive purchase to pacify Chanel, it would be that the naysayers believe that though there are strollers out there for 6-year-old toddlers, that instead of Coco and Ice-T purchasing the stroller, they should have used that situation as a teaching moment, using that opportunity to teach Chanel endurance, letting her know that there are times in life when we're put in situations that we just have absolutely no control over. And it's at times like these that we need endurance, because we need to be able to endure. But regardless of how any of us feel about the situation, Coco and Ice-T exercised their parental rights to push their daughter around in a stroller because that's what they wanted to do. And there's absolutely nothing that we can do about it. A more recent child-rearing controversial decision that she made public was a video of her 6-year-old daughter bathing in the kitchen sink. Now, this decision is the one that actually impelled me to sit in front of my computer and create this video. Now, I'm not OCD or anything like that because I'm far from it, but I can't help but think how unsanitary it is to bathe anyone at any age in the same sink that I prepare food and wash my dishes. Even though we thoroughly wash our sink out daily, I still wouldn't be able to get that thought out of my head that someone's derriere has been in my kitchen sink. But anyway, let's get back to Coco. Some of the articles regarding this issue read in a way to suggest that Chanel was actually bathing herself. But based on Coco's own words as she responds to the criticism, it's very clear that Chanel was being given a bath by her mother in that kitchen sink. Her words were, and I quote, "Wow, just wow. Here we go again. Giving my little girl a bath in a sink went viral. SMH." End quote. And for those who aren't aware of what SMH stands for, it means shaking my head. She also gave a response that lets us all know that this will not be the last controversial decision she makes public. She stated again, and I quote, "People, you gotta know by now that I'm an unconventional mother. I do what works and is easier on me." End quote. Now, many mothers were appalled, and for a number of reasons, of which two main reasons were, number one, the fact that at 6 years old, Chanel should have been in a regular bathroom tub where she should have been able to bathe herself, and number two, the simple fact that it was the kitchen sink. The naysayers' reasoning is that the kitchen sink should be solely for the preparation of food and the handling of dishes, not tainted with bath water from anyone, be it a toddler or a baby. Now, a good question to ask oneself is, why do they make baby tubs? Well, here it is. They make baby tubs so that you can put your child in it and bathe them because it's safe, because it's appropriately sized for babies from newborn to at most 4 years of age. So if the baby is being put in a baby tub and then the parent decides to put that baby tub in the sink, that's okay. But the water from the bath should be carried to the bathroom and emptied in the bathtub. And I must say, looking at this picture, it even appears here that the family dogs agree. From the looks they're giving, it seems like they're thinking, that's weird. I've never seen that before. Anyway, we really shouldn't be surprised because this is the same woman who in an interview publicly stated that she doesn't shower every day, that it could be every 3 days that she takes a shower. Now, that fourth controversial child-rearing decision she's made public that we'll consider is that of videoing her 5-year-old as her 5-year-old teach her grandmother how to twerk. Though in some communities, twerking is like second nature and it's pretty common to see your children twerking, it doesn't make it right in everyone's eyes. And we also know that we can't tell another parent what they should teach or shouldn't teach their children, or what they should or shouldn't allow their children to do. So the issue isn't the fact that the daughter knows how to twerk. The issue is in the parent deciding to make it a permanent part of social media, the parent's decision to put it out there publicly for all to see. As for those who are pro-kid twerking, it's because they feel that their kid is cute doing it, that it's a moment that deserves to be videoed, and that's their right as a parent to capture such moments of their child's life that they deem memorable. But the question is, after videoing it, is it wise to post it? Or should they just keep the video for the purpose of being shared for their own enjoyment as a family, and maybe even sharing it with close friends that the family trusts? What do you think? As for the naysayers, in hearing the definition, one could understand the stance that opposers take. Listen to the definition of twerking here. It says, twerking is a dance to popular music in a sexually provocative manner, involving thrusting hip movements and a low squatting stance. And there's another definition that includes rapid, repeated hip thrust and the shaking of the rear end, especially while in a squatting position. After hearing that definition and visualizing an adult dancing in such a way, do you think it's okay for a baby, for a toddler, for a kid of any age to be twerking, especially in view of unknowing eyes, in view of strangers? A question you can consider as you ponder that first one: is the world we live in full of only people who think, "Aw, so cute"? Or do we have included in this world men and women who search for victims whom they can take advantage of? When we decide to post pictures of our loved ones, the nice, good people are not the only ones who see the post. Like you and I, we may look at the video and innocently say, oh, they're so cute. But we have to keep it real. There are others out there with no good intentions trolling social media and on the internet. And there's no telling what plans they may take to make good on whatever fantasy they've concocted in their own head. And sometimes there's a false sense of security coming from the parents because they think that their celebrity status can provide their children the security needed. But when a criminal wants something, they find a way to make it happen. They can get to you. Remember Gigi Hadid? Attacked at a fashion show? Or maybe you remember Kelsey Grammer's sister, who was unfortunately kidnapped and killed. We have to be conscious about what we post. It's as simple as that. It's a life or death situation. Now, as for the question, why does Coco find it necessary to make public these controversial child-rearing decisions she chooses to make? The only thing I can think of is that she's trying to stay relevant because she didn't get famous until her marriage to Ice-T. When she got with Ice-T, that's when she started working events at the Playboy Mansion. That's when she started starring in low-budget R-rated movies. And from there, they had their own reality show in 2011, and that ended in February 2014. And there was nothing else until the breastfeeding controversy in 2015. And since then, nothing but a whole lot of controversial news regarding some of her child-rearing decisions. As mentioned earlier, the main issue isn't the decision in itself, because we know that each parent has the right to rear their child as they deem fit, as long as it doesn't result in danger for the child. The issue is in their making it public to everyone. If she's allegedly posting to stay relevant, it's being done unknowingly or knowingly at the expense of her own daughter, Chanel, because Chanel has to grow up. And when she does, guess what? All of what Coco is posting will still be there because it became newsworthy. It's not just on social media, which can be shut down eventually, but because of the controversy, it's been made to be posted in the news articles, which will live on for as long as access to the internet is available. So Chanel will have to deal with the consequences of it for the rest of her life. Right now, Coco should recognize the impact of her postings, because look at what she's having to deal with right now because of the public's response. Because she's an adult, though, Coco may be thinking that it's not that bad. But does she ever stop to think what impact it will eventually have on Chanel? How would a child feel if their peers bully and make fun of them because of the child breastfeeding at 5 years of age, or reading something or seeing something because of the child being pushed in a stroller at age 6, or because of the child being bathed by her parent at age 6? I mean, these are the types of questions that parents should ask themselves before they post when children are involved. Because remember this, decisions made today by parents could cause self-destructive decisions made by the children later on in life due to the feelings of humiliation and harsh bullying that they receive from their peers. I'll end on that note. That's all I have on the subject. And until our next video, this is Shell signing out.